In today's session, we are going to learn about writing start routine using AMDB. Okay, so where we write currently, I'm having a system of BW4HANA. Okay, in this BW4HANA system, I created two ADSOs. One is a write optimized ADSO. Okay, and then here these are my fields. I have a document number created on material quantity, and these are the fields. And in this ADSO, currently I'm having data in this way. So I have four records are there with material M1, M2, and these are the information. Now I have another ADSO in the system. So this is standard ADSO. So in this ADSO, I added a few extra columns called Cal2, and Cal year, some extra amount fields and all. Okay, and I created a transformation between my write optimized ADSO to the standard ADSO. So at least whichever fields are mapping, whichever fields have technical names are matching. So we have one-to-one mapping is there. Now today what we are going to learn is mainly start routine. So where exactly we write start routine in the transformation in from HANA Studio. If you want to write start routine, you need to go to the general section. In the general section on the global routines, you see start routine. So generally, if it is a BW on HANA system, you can write start routine using ABAP also. But here in BW4HANA, you can write start routine using only AMDP. Okay, you see there is no option to create ABAP based start routine. But for end routine, there is ABAP based end routine. We have an option, and also HANA Script also. Okay, so it means that we need to write only the scripting here. And expert routine also can be must be written in the script format only. Okay, so this we need to know. So I hope you already saw how to write start routine and routine field routine from my ABAP videos. Now in this video we are going to cover mainly on the AMDP scripting method. Now I'm going to create a start routine, but before creating it, what is my scenario? So in my source write optimized ADSO, I have four records are there with material M1 and M2. Okay, and I have a material master data. Okay, but before that, because just I don't want to go into the directly in I have data M1 and M2 materials are there. Why we write start routine? Okay, so mainly the main purpose of writing start routine is to filter the data. Okay, but to filter the data, already I am having TTP level filters are there. So if we have already TTP level filters, which way option, then why again I am filtering data in the transformation by writing code? So what is the necessity? So the necessity is, so at a TTP level filter, we can apply filter on the source fields, which means my source is write optimized ADSO. So in write optimized ADSO, I have these many fields. So I can apply filter on only these columns. But if I have a requirement to filter, means to exclude the records where material type material type not equal to M or material group, let's say material group, because I have material master data where I have material group and material type information. Now I want to exclude records of material group not equal to MG1. Now if you want to keep this kind of filter, is it possible to put in the DTP section? It is not possible, because at DTP level we can apply filter only on the source columns. This material group is not available in my source column. So it is not possible. Now this kind of, but by using material, I can derive a material group. So because of this reason, I can implement this kind of logic in the start routine. Why I need to write in start routine? Why not in the end routine? Yes, you can write this exclusion in the end routine also. But generally, if any exclusions are there from the source data, we write a start routine to to such kind of functionality. Now we know the scenario. So in my source data, I have four records are there. Out of these four records, I need data of material group MG1. I don't want any other materials which are not equal, which are not material group MG2. Okay, so for the four records are there with the M1, M2 materials. So if I go to material master data, M1 is of material group MG1, M2 is of material group MG2. So finally what I need, only MG1 must come into my output, M2 is must not come, because I need MG1 material group. So how to write this kind of exclusion, functionality in the start routine. So how to create a start routine? Simply open the transformation, go to general tab, click on the create button. Then but here is you are writing a code. Currently I am in which perspective is very important. Okay, when we are BW model, when we are performing BW modeling, like creating ADS for transformation and all, we are in BW perspective. You see, here we can see the perspective. I am in the BW perspective. Okay, so next, if you want to implement ABAP level routines, then are not ABAP level, like AMDP scripts are ABAP level routines, then you need to change your perspective from BW modeling to the which perspective you need to change? You need to change it to the ABAP perspective. Where is ABAP perspective? So this is called as ABAP perspective. Okay, so this is called as ABAP perspective. So I need to shift from BW modeling to the ABAP perspective. So by shifting itself, I am done? No. After shifting to the ABAP perspective, you must have a project. Okay, so ABAP project in your project explorer. How I know which is ABAP project, which is BW project? A BW project contains, BW repository and data sources. It may come, may not come based upon your version. And a BW project contains a BW repository, and ABAP project contains packages. So currently this is my ABAP project. For example, if you are not having ABAP project, simply go to plus symbol, click on ABAP project, and this ABAP project means project name itself is of type ABAP, but still you are writing your ABAP in the BW4 system only. So you need to select BW4 system and then click on next and provide your information, and it will be added here. So this is my ABAP project. I'm double clicking. It is asking me for the password. I'm providing here. Done. So how I know this is my ABAP project? You see, once I expand it, I see the favorites packages system library. If you see system library, then it is ABAP based project, and if you see BW repository, it is BW project. Okay, so now click on, after we open the ABAP project, then we need to click on the create button. Then when we click on create button, it will ask which are the fields you want it in the output. So I can I can select all. It's fine. We can, when we are creating start routine, whichever fields you want to we want to use in the start routine, generally we will select those. I am selecting everything and I'm clicking on end routine. Sorry, not end routine, create routine, I think. So now what happened? Now it is asking. So since I want to write, 1 minute, let me check one more time. Let me delete this one. So I spelled something wrong. I'm clicking on create button. Yeah, edit routine. It's not end routine, edit routine. Okay, I'm clicking on edit routine. And then it is asking, choose the project. Here I need to select the ABAP based project. So this is my ABAP project, and clicking on OK button. Now you see my window code, ABAP based code is opened. You see now ABAP project got opened under the data class. So with now whatever code you are writing now, so SAP is creating a class for this implementation, and you are writing your code here. So now let's try to understand a little bit about these things. Okay, it is currently showing red color. So why it is you see method global start end method. So we need to write our implementation in between these two. Okay, important. So you see begin of routine, insert your code only below this line. Okay, in ABAP routine we have start source package. Okay, we have source package and all the data comes from source available in source package. If you modify source package, then automatically your output also will be changed. But when coming to this AMDP, this code, this HANA script, database procedure for HANA long SQL script. When writing using this SQL script, here we have a different terminology. What is that? InTab and OutTab. What is InTab? What is OutTab? Okay. Now to understand better on this concept, we need to learn about. We need to talk a little bit on this one. I have my source. There is my target. Okay, so in my my source is, for example, write optimized DSO, and my target is standard DSO, standard ADSO, whatever. Yeah, standard ADSO. This is write optimized ADSO. So in my write optimized ADSO, I have 4 records are there. Okay, 4 records are there. These 4 records I am transferring, means I am loading these 4 records into target ADSO. In between, what I have? In between, I have transformation. So in the transformation, I have 3 stages are there. One is start routine, another one is field level routine, another one is the end routine. So these three will come in between this data packet transfer. When I execute DTP, data moves from my source to target. Before it is writing to the target, it has to pass through this start routine. It can means it is not always mandatory. If you defined start routine, then it has to pass by a start routine and then field level routine and then end routine. These stages will must pass. So in the start routine, again, there are 2 internal tables are there. If it is ABAP based, then is only one internal table, source underscore package. But when coming to this HANA script, okay, when you are writing this HANA script, then what? Here you have 2 tables are there in the start routine. What are those? InTab and OutTab. So these are the 2 different tables in the start routine. Similarly, in the end routine also, you have InTab and OutTab. So what is InTab and what is OutTab? So after data extracted from the source, system stores the data in the InTab, and if you want to process something, after getting data into InTab, you can perform modifications on that data which is in the InTab internal table and can assign the final output to the OutTab. So whatever we have data finally in the OutTab will be moved to the next level. So similarly in field routine, we will let you know, and end routine also same thing. When after start routine, field routine completed, the final output will be available in the InTab of end routine. And once you did modifications or whatever operations you want to perform your operations on the data available in InTab. Finally, assign the output to the OutTab. Okay. Now whatever data we have in the OutTab will be written to the output target. So this is how it is. So in each routine, start routine we have 2 tables, end routine we have 2 tables. Initially data is available in the InTab. Then you can perform operations on this data, and final output you can create and finally store it in the output tab. So OutTab is finally final table which will be moved to the next level. So now let's come back here. So that's why you see SAP is giving a standard code, but it is commented this code. So for example, if I uncomment this code, what happened? OutTab is equal to select star from InTab. So I got all my errors also got removed. So I can simply activate it like this. Okay. So the code is completed. But what completed? So whatever data coming in my InTab, same data I am passing to my OutTab. So all code is complete. I can say it is everything perfect. But my requirement InTab contains 4 records because my write optimized ADSO contains 4 records. I am assigning all the 4 records to my OutTab. But is that my requirement? No. My data is having 4 records. Out of these 4 records, I need only data of material group MG1. So I need to check each material and its corresponding material group. And my material group information is available in P table of my material. So I need to perform a lookup on the P table of material and check each material and its corresponding material group, and finally consider only material group of type MG1. Okay, so here we need to write this kind of HANA scripts. We need some SQL knowledge. Okay, if you need this SQL knowledge, you can learn it from my native HANA playlist. Here I am not teaching each and everything. I'm mainly concentrating on how to write a start routine here. So now what is our requirement? We need to perform a lookup on the one of the database table here. So if you want to perform lookup on any database table, we need to first declare that table in our method declaration. So how to declare it? At the end of the method, after read only, you need to write using keyword. After using keyword, you need to write your name. And remember, you need to write in the capital letters, not in the small letters. P material. So when you say using /B0/P material, then it means you consuming this particular table in your output in your code. As of now, it is showing error message. The user declaration for object is not needed. Yes, it is not needed. Why? Because at this point of time, I am not using this particular table anywhere in my code. That's why it is saying why you written it, remove it. But I know it. Why I written? Because I'm going to use now. So now what I'm going to do here, I need to perform a inner join. So whatever data I am having in my InTab, I am performing, which means to make it simple, because for better understanding, I have document numbers 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. These are my 4 document numbers in my right optimized ADSO, and this is my data set in my P table of my material. This is my data set, and in the my right optimized ADSO, this is my data set. Okay. Now what I'm going to perform. This is material here, and this is material, and this is a material group. Okay, so material. Now I am going to join material column from my InTab. This is InTab. Okay, so I'm going to join material column in my InTab with the material column from my P table of material. This is a P material table, and then checking whether this material group is MG1 or not. So how to write this code? So select start from InTab as A. I'm giving alias name as A, and then inner join. I'm going to perform inner join because I want records only of type MG1. So inner join is sufficient here. Inner join from with which table I'm going to perform inner join with slash bi0 slash p material as B. So this is my second table. Okay, but what it is saying here, you see this SQL syntax error near a slash. So because when you are using this table here, you need to specify within double quotes. Okay, as B on. Whenever we write on join condition using on operator, we need to write this on condition. So after on, we need to write here where a dot, it means InTab dot material is equal to B, means P table material. Okay, and so material to material, because the join between these two tables is a material to material column, and also the material group in the B table must be MG1, and so it is actually and must be written on the next line. Not must, it is good to have it here. P dot material group. So if you don't know, alt space will give you the hint here. Material group is equal to MG1. It is case sensitive. You must give in correct way. Okay, material group is equal to MG1 within the single quotes. Done. So you are done with writing this code, but not yet. Because you need to select star. What is star means? Star means it will fetch all columns from A table, all columns from the B table, but that is not correct. I need only columns from the A table, in table. B column is just only for my lookup purpose. So select A dot star means only columns from A, in tab will come here. Now you see there are no errors, everything is fine. Now what is my structure of InTab? I forgot to discuss this point. Okay, structure of InTab is nothing but my source structure. If I scroll a little bit up here, you can see the definite one structure here. Begin of TNS. S means structure of a global. You see document number, record mode, document number. This is my structure. Okay, so this is my in structure. You see in underscore global start. At the end here, you can see there is a definition. InTab. You see value InTab type TNT. T means of type table. Okay, so here you see T of out not here. T in global start is of type again structure. Okay, so finally what you need to do here on the top, you can find the InTab and OutTab structures here. So at this point of time, we don't discuss much about it, but mainly focus here. If you want to write lookup on your start routine, you need to specify the lookup table on the method declaration part, and you need to write finally the final output, whichever you want to give to the start routine must be in the OutTab, and the data which is coming from the source is available under InTab. Okay, and here whatever logic you write, you can write on your own using your SQL requirement and SQL knowledge base. That's it. So I'm done with the start routine. I'm activating it. So finally, what is my expected output? M1 is of middle group MG1. Yes. So then this is passed. So this record will be part of my output. Now M2 is of type middle MG2. So this is not correct. So this is a won't come. This fail. Again M1 is of my MG1 and this is fail. It means out of 4 records only M1. These two records 1001 and 1003 will be part of my output and remaining 2 records will be excluded from my source data. Okay, I activated my start routine. Now what next? I'm closing the start routine. This one, you see, then I need to activate my transformation. So after writing the start routine, I'm activating my transformation. Once the transformation got activated successfully, then I will activate my DTP. So somehow DTP is showing inactive here. So let me activate my DTP. Here it is. Activate button. So this DTP, now if I go to general tab, this DTP is of delta DTP, which fetches data from my source into target. I'm executing my DTP. So if I'm executing it in the normal execution, I don't want to open process monitor because I want to open manage of my standard ADS4 here. Oh, sorry. I need to delete this content first. Let me rerun this DTP one more time. I'm deleting the content from my standard DSO. Now I'm going to here and re-executing my DTP. Okay. So from SAP GUI, I went to RSMNG decode. What is the decode I'm using? RSMNG. And then let me come from start then to make it clear. I'm opening RSMNG decode. Here I can give my ADS for name SR_SDS1 execute. Okay, here I can see manage of ADS4, which is from my GUI, which I like it actually. So you see 2 records only came. If I go to process monitor, here you see only 2 records processed. If I go to extras and if I see the InTab, go back one step. Here, if I go to utilities, display new data, execute. Now I can see only 1 and 3 document numbers loaded into my inbound table. So M1002 and 4 got excluded because of those are belongs to middle group 2. Okay, so this is how to write a start routine in the start routine in using HANA script. Okay, important point about this start routine is what is the difference between ABAP routine and start routine. I forgot to discuss that point. Okay, so ABAP routine will be executed at application layer level and HANA script will be executed at database level. What is application level? What is database level? Maybe a small people who doesn't know this concept can listen to this one. So for this I need to open a PowerPoint. Okay, for a better understanding. Okay, because many people may let's say like not many later. Okay, let me take a new slide here. Not new, okay, it's new slide, but layout I need to change to blank layout. Okay, so let's say for example this is your HANA database. Okay, and you are creating a ADS4. ADS4 means generally we take this symbol as ADS4. So ADS4 stores data. Okay, it means it stores data means it is a physical provider. Whenever you load data into ADS4, it stores in the database tables. Okay, now whenever you are executing a DTP to transfer data from one, for example, write optimized ADSO into standard ADSO. So to bring data from here to here, what you are going to do, you are going to perform a DTP. In the DTP, if you are writing ABAP logic, what SAP doing is DTP will extract data from source and then writing the data into target. If you are writing ABAP routine in between, what SAP do is SAP extracts the data from write optimized ADSO and it brings the data from database into application layer. It means it brings the data into some buffer kind. Let's application layer. Generally we call it as. It means it won't perform this action at a database level. It means it will bring data into a different level, application layer. People call as application layer. It means, for example, 10 records you are loading from source to target. These 10 records will, if you are writing a routine in between, these 10 records will be copied from database, means database, into application layer. It means some kind of buffer, and here it will process your ABAP logic, and finally after processing ABAP logic, it writes data into your target. It means there is a data flow happens from database into a buffer, and from buffer into again standard data, into database. Okay, so this is when you write ABAP. But if you the same kind of thing happening using HANA script. So HANA script executes logic in the DB itself. It means when you're writing HANA script in the transformation between these two, then the data 10 records, the logic also applies within the database and writes data into the target table. It means the movement from data flowing from database to application layer, this particular movement got reduced. For 10 records, it doesn't make make much difference, but millions of records processing via ABAP logic, it takes a lot of time. That's why now what happen if it is a HANA based scripting, then that moment is not required. So obviously it saves some time in the database. So that's why HANA based database will be completed very faster compared to the web scripting side. Okay, so that is the one point. And second point that you want to remember is if you're writing ABAP logic, the logic performs at record by record, because in ABAP, if you see my end routine example, I've written a loop statement in the end routine, which means if my result package contains 10 records, each record I will process my data, and I will write into my each record by record I will process the data. Whereas when coming to the HANA scripting, you see in the HANA side there is a select statement. So I written a select statement, I written an inner join. So this kind of operations will happen at a data package level. So I am not processing record by record using looping statement. But here I am writing a select statement with inner join. So packet by packet level, operations will happen here. It means all data in the package will be processed at single attempt, whereas in ABAP side, each record by record using loop statements, I will be performing the operation. So this is the second difference, mainly when talking about the difference between ABAP based routine to HANA based routines. Obviously, HANA based scripting, it will give better performance compared to ABAP based ABAP based coding. That's all about start.